Iran war has now entered its third week, and instead of clamming down, tensions are rising even faster. What started as a regional conflict is now beginning to affect the entire world, especially the global economy. At the center of everything is one critical location, the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow stretch of water lines between Iran to the north and Oman to the south. It may not look significant on a map, but in reality it is one of the most important shipping routes on Earth. Why? Because it is the main gateway for oil coming out of the Gulf region. In fact, it is only the major sea route that connected the oil-rich countries of the Gulf to the rest of the world. Every single day, barrels of oil pass through this narrow passage. Countries like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Iraq all rely heavily on this route to export their oil. Before the war began, around 2,000 million barrels of oil moved through the Strait of Hormuz every day. That is nearly 20% of all the oil traded globally by sea. That means 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil in the world passed through this single location. There are alternative routes like pipeline on land, but they simply cannot carry enough oil to replace what flows through the strait. This makes the Strait of Hormuz the global choke point. If it is disrupted, the entire world feels it. And exactly what is happening right now. Since the conflict started, Iran has interfering with traffic in the strait. Iranian officially claims they have not fully closed it, but the reality is far more complicated. Ships from countries that Iran considers neutral or friendly like China, India are sometimes allowed to pass, but under strict conditions. However, vessels linked to countries seen as hostile have reportedly been tragic. There have been drone attacks, missile strikes, and multiple ship damage. Some reports even suggest casualty, although exact numbers remains unclear. Because of the risks, many international shipping companies are now refusing to send their vessels through the strait. Insurance costs skyrocketed, and some routes have been completely abandoned. The result, a sharp drop in oil supply reaching global markets. And when supply goes down, prices go up. One of the most world key oil benchmarks, Brent crude, has surged from under 17 per barrel before the conflict to over $100. This increases does not just affect oil companies, it affects everyone. While oil prices rise, fuel becomes more expensive. When fuel becomes more expensive, transportation cost increases. And when transportation cost rises, the price of goods, foods, clothing, basic supplies also goes up. In simple terms, this conflict can make everyday life more expensive. Now, the situation has taken an even more serious step. Donald Trump has issued a strong warning to Iran, giving them 48 hours to open the Strait of Hormuz fully. He stated that if Iran does not comply, the United States could carry out military strike targeting the key infrastructure including power facilities. This is a major escalation. Iran has already responded by rejecting the ultimatum. Officials have warned that any attacks by United States will be met with immediate retaliations. At this moment, there are no peace talks, no negotiation, and no clear path to de-escalation. The situation remains extremely fragile. A single decision from either side could push this conflict into much larger war. And because of this importance of the Strait of Hormuz, what happens next will not just affect the Middle East, it will affect the entire world. These ideas from one of social media, which is in the world.